Hi everyone, I'm Vincent Joe.
Hi, I'm Olivia Smart.
Ciao, sono Lara Naki Gutman.
I am Mark Henretti.
Hi, I'm Emilia Zingis.
And I'm Vadim Kolesnik.
Sono Daniel Gassel.
Hi, I'm Amber Glenn.
Hi, I'm Jacob Sanchez.
Hi, this is Alyssa Liu, and you're listening to This Week in Skating.
Welcome to This Week in Skating, the weekly podcast bringing you the latest news from the world of figure skating. Here are your hosts, Daphne, Gina, and Mateo.
Hey there, it's Gina here. Happy start to the 2026-2027 figure skating season. Also, a happy belated Canada Day to all our friends up in Canada. I'm recording this on July 2nd, so Canada Day was July 1st, so happy belated Canada Day. And happy almost 250th birthday to the United States. July 4th is just 2 days away, and I know people are already starting to celebrate here in the US. Now, This Week in Skating also celebrates 2 birthdays in July. Both Mateo and Daphne have a birthday this month. Mateo's birthday is just in a few days, so I'm wishing them a very happy birthday. I'm the only one without a July birthday. My birthday is in May, but I would love to wish my 2 co-hosts a very happy birthday, and I won't be able to celebrate with them in person, but I will be celebrating with them virtually. We are still on a break from weeklies. We haven't really determined when we're going to go back to our regular weekly schedule yet, but we may be popping on more frequently as the National Qualifying Series events begin here in the US and we start traveling to competitions. Daphne is leaving in just a few days for the Dallas Classic, so I'm sure she will have some thoughts to share when she gets back. I am possibly planning to go to Cranberry Cup in August, so, and I know Daphne is heading to Lake Placid in the end of the month, so we may be popping on a little bit more now that more competitions are going to be happening, but we won't be on a weekly basis until probably the fall. Again, we still haven't determined when we'll be back. We did drop an interview just a couple weeks ago with Ivan Ragini. If you haven't checked that one out yet, please do so. We hope to have some more interviews this summer, so stay tuned. But there was some news that happened this week. Plus, there's been some news over the last few weeks since I last did a weekly. So I decided to hop on. I had some time off and figured I would record an episode. So let's get started. Right on to our general skating news. The ISU announced on June 30th that they will allow skaters from Russia and Belarus to participate in ISU events or international competitions starting this season as AIN. Now, those are neutral athletes just like they were at the Olympics. Now, what does this mean? They will be able to compete without national flag, kits, and national anthem. So the same neutral status as they competed at the Olympics. They will be screened similarly as they were for the Olympics. Now, eligibility will be withheld if a skater is currently in active service with the armed forces or a national security agency of Russia or Belarus, if they have taken an active part in military operations in the war against Ukraine at any time since February 2022, or they have actively and publicly supported the war since February of 2022. There won't be any officials from Russia or Belarus at any ISU international events, and there will be no international events held in Russia and Belarus. So there will be no Grand Prix event in Russia. Now, an AIN team may qualify for the World Team Trophy. They compete as a neutral team, so no flags or anything that shows the two countries. Qualification for World Team Trophy will be based on this season's results. They will be able to compete at Europeans and Worlds, but will have only one quota for each of the disciplines, as they weren't at either competition last season to earn multiple quotas. The last time skaters from Russia and Belarus competed at an international event with their country was the 2022 Olympics. The ISU banned both countries on March 1st, 2022, and so the 2022 World Championships they were not able to compete at. 3 neutral athletes, 2 with Russian ties, and 1 from Belarus did compete at the 2026 Olympics. Peter Gumenek finished 6th. He will be eligible for the Grand Prix. His season's best score was just outside of the top 10. It was 11th. If your season's best score is among the top 24, you are eligible for the Grand Prix, which means he will be part of the alternates list. The Grand Prix assignments are staying as is. They are not making any changes given this news of Russia and Belarus athletes being able to compete this season. The only changes that will come to the Grand Prix is if skaters withdraw, and then they will go to the alternates list to fill those assignments. Adelia Petrosin also finished 6th at the Olympics. She is also eligible for a Grand Prix as her season's best score was in the top 24. It was also 11th, so again, she will be on the alternates list. Victoria Savanova also competed at the Olympics but did not qualify for the free skate. She is from Belarus. Now, we're going to put all of this in our show notes. There was the document that explains what this all means. There was a Q&A that the ISU released. We will be putting all of this information about this news in our show notes so you can read up on it. And of course, there will be more news, I'm guessing, as the season continues on in regards to this. You know, I know a lot of skaters have been making some statements about this. Some federations have even made statements about this. I'm sure there will probably be more speaking out about this change with the ISU. And we'll put all of that in our show notes so that you can read up on it, understand it, and know what is going on with this new change. So moving on, we had some new partnerships announced over the last few weeks. Olivia Flores and Mark Sandusky announced their partnership. They will be coached by Drew Meekins and Natalia Mishkatunik in Colorado Springs. Flores was a junior world silver medalist with former partner Luke Wang, and Mark previously skated with Nika Digernis. 3 years after announcing the end of their partnership, Lorianne Mate and Terry Furland have reunited and will compete this season for Canada. Now, we had some new partnerships in ice dance. Hannah Lim and Zachary Laga announced a partnership and will skate for Canada. Now, because Hannah, who was born in Canada, skated for Korea at the last World Championships, the pair will not be eligible for international competitions this season. They have to sit out, but they will be able to compete domestically. Sandrine Gutierrez and Paul Ayer also announced their partnership. They plan to skate for Canada. Alicia Fabry and Marco Yevgeny Gadanenko announced their partnership. Marco previously skated with Solen Mazinges for Estonia, and then, Alicia Fabry skated with Paul Ayer for Canada. Alicia and Marco have not indicated what country they will skate for, either Canada or Estonia. Well, moving on to retirements, this was not a surprise, especially when the Grand Prix assignments came out and her name was not listed. But Belgium's Luna Hendricks announced her retirement from competitive skating. She says she will continue skating in shows. Now, Luna had an outstanding career. She's going to be missed greatly. She had 3 Olympic appearances. She competed in 2018, 2022, and 2026. Her best finish was 7th in 2022. She's a 2-time world medalist, won silver in 2023 and bronze in 2022. She won the European title in 2024, won silver in 2023 and 2026, and bronze in 2022. She won 2 Grand Prix final medals, bronze in 2023 and silver in 2022. She won 6 medals on the Grand Prix series during her career. She's a 5-time Belgian champion. I mean, Luna's career was outstanding. And so, again, she's going to be greatly missed, but all of the best to her in the future and whatever she chooses to do. Well, in other Belgium skater news, Nina Pinzaroni has switched coaches and is now working with Damon Allen, Tammy Gamble, and Logan Giletti-Schmidt. Logan choreographed her short program. Lithuanian ice dancer Paulina Ramanauskate announced her retirement from competitive skating. She and her partner Davidas Kazilla finished 23rd at the 2022 Olympics. Kazilla is looking for a new partner. French junior ice dancer Lou Couch announced her retirement from competitive skating. She competed with Lucas Chateauneau. Hungary's Vivian Pep announced her retirement from competitive skating. Well, we had some sad news happen in the figure skating world over the last week or so. 2-time Olympic pairs champion Artur Dmitriev passed away from complications from heart surgery on June 29th. He was 59 years old. Artur made history as the first and to date only male pair skater to win Olympic gold with 2 different partners. He won gold with Natalia Mishkatunik at the Olympics in 1992 after they captured the world and European titles in both 1991 and 1992. They represented the Soviet Union at the time. Then representing Russia, they also won the silver at the Olympics in 1994. Now, after Natalia retired, he teamed up with Oksana Kazakova in 1995. They won the European title in 1996 and claimed bronze at the 1997 World Championships, and then won the 1998 Nagano Olympics. Artur has 2 sons, Artur and Artem. Artur Jr. did compete representing both Russia and then briefly for the United States. I do remember that he competed at the 2022 U.S. Championships. So sending our condolences to Artur's family as well as Natalia and Oksana as they grieve the loss of Artur. Legendary figure skating coach Viktor Nikolaevich Kudermetsev died June 22nd at the age of 88. He was a leading coach in the Soviet Union and Russia. One of his first students was Sergei Volokov, who he coached to the 1975 world title, the first world title won by a Soviet male skater. His other students included world and European champion Maria Buterskaya, Olympic champion Ilya Kulik, world medalist Elena Skolova, and ice dance world champion Ilya Everbuk. So again, sending our condolences to Victor's family. Well, moving on to event results, there were 3 events that took place last week. The Chesapeake Open, which was part of the U.S. Solo Dance Series, the Lake Placid Figure Skating Championships, and the Broadmoor Open. We will have links to the results for those 3 events in our show notes. Well, moving on to upcoming events, the National Qualifying Series is going to be starting next week with the Dallas Classic. That is taking place July 9th to the 12th in Plano, Texas. It's also part of the Solo Dance Series, and Daphne will be there, so stay tuned for photos. Robin is going as well, so she'll have photos. And of course, I think Daphne will probably share her thoughts on This Week in Skating in a future podcast. We also have July 8th through the 12th, Skate Milwaukee, and that takes place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. At the same time as Skate Milwaukee, we have the U.S. Junior Team Cup taking place also in Milwaukee. That is the competition that determines the Junior Grand Prix skaters. So this is a big competition for the junior level skaters in the U.S. I'm not sure if it's streamed, but if we get any word that it will be streamed, we will definitely pass along the link or put it in our show notes. Well, it's summer, so that means we have some summer ice shows taking place. Sun Valley summer ice shows take place on Saturdays throughout the summer in Sun Valley, Idaho. Now, last night, July 1st, Emilia Zingis and Vadim Kolesnik were the guest stars. July 18th will be Christina Carrera and Anthony Pomerenko. July 25th will be Ilya Malinin. August 8th will be Ellie Kam and Danny O'Shea. August 29th, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates. And September 5th, Jason Brown. Will put a link in our show notes for tickets and information. One day, I'm going to get to a Sun Valley ice show. And to skate there. I want to skate there too. So it's on the list. And I know our friend Melanie gets to go to Sun Valley every summer, and she does get to see the summer ice shows while she's there too. So I'm always jealous of her. Lake Placid also does summer skating shows. Theirs kicks off actually tomorrow, July 3rd. Christina Carrera and Anthony Pomerenko are the guest stars. July 10th will be Jacob Sanchez. July 17th, they don't have a guest star listed right now, but the theme is going to be Summer Sizzler. And August 21st, the theme is Great Gatsby with adult skaters of the annual Lake Placid Adult Skate Week participating. And we'll put a link in the show notes for tickets for those summer shows. Now, August 27th, the Skating Club of Boston is doing the Summer Sizzler show. That was announced this week, and it takes place in the Skating Club of Boston in Norwood, Massachusetts. Tickets are already on sale for this show. Right now listed, and this is scheduled to change, and more skaters will be added, but Alyssa Liu, Amber Glenn, Isabel Levito, Elisa Efimova, and Misha Mitrofanov, and Andrew Torgashev are scheduled to participate, but again, changes can happen, and more skaters will be added, but if you are interested in that show, definitely go and get your tickets because Skating Club of Boston is not a huge venue, so that place tends to sell out rather quickly. Well, moving on to online updates, the documentary Unbreakable Me about Gabrielle Delman is now available on Amazon Prime in the US. Now, you can stream it with an Amazon Prime membership, or you can rent or purchase it. Gabby says it is coming very soon to Canada and around the world. Well, I don't have an Amazon Prime membership, but I did rent the documentary and I watched it over the last 2 days. And I will say it was very eye-opening. We know how much Gabby has struggled with injuries, and then she had the car accident. And to see this in the documentary and to see her work through everything that she has gone through, which, again, very eye-opening. She definitely is unbreakable. You could see it in the way she was training that was shown in the documentary. You could see it in her interviews, her mom and her dad were part of the documentary, as well as her brother. I was actually surprised. I didn't know she worked with Mitchell Islam. And so there is some interactions between the two of them in this documentary. So if you are a fan of Gabby, or you have enjoyed watching her, or you just want to know more about what she's gone through, I definitely recommend the documentary. The renting it was like $6, and you get it for so many hours until once you start it. If you don't start it right away, you have like 30 days to start it and then watch it. So yeah, it's inexpensive. And again, if you're in Canada, it should be coming soon. And in other parts around the world, of course, you can always VPN it if you want to watch it and not wait. But yeah, it was a well done documentary, and I was really glad Gabby told her story. We've had her on the podcast, and she shared most of her story here. And she is again competing this season. She says it's going to be her last, and last season she did quite well in that comeback. So wishing her all the best this coming season. And congratulations to Olympic pair skater Luke Digby of Great Britain, who got married on June 20th. So congrats to Luke and his new bride. So that is all of our planned content, but you know that we'd like to end each episode by shining a lens on what is going on at This Week in Skating, IceDance.com, and Figure Skaters Online. As I mentioned, This Week in Skating is still on a break, but we may be popping in a little bit more now, given that the National Qualifying Series is starting. There's going to be some more important summer competitions taking place. We're going to be getting the Challengers started pretty soon, beginning of August. So we're going to be popping in, but again, it may not be on a weekly basis. Once we know when we're actually going to start our weekly episodes, we'll definitely let you know. You definitely can continue to check out This Week in Skating on our website and on social media, and as well as our store. If you have not purchased your This Week in Skating swag, you can definitely go pick it up there. Join us on Patreon for access to ad-free episodes. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're having some issues with YouTube right now. Some of our episodes are not there if you go to the video section, but they are there as podcasts. So we're working through that, but if you listen to us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And if you follow us on social media, on Olympic Day, which was last week, Mateo and I did an Olympics Day reel. We shared our memories and our photos. So if you haven't seen that yet, go to This Week in Skating on Instagram, Facebook, and X. Now, over at IceDance.com celebrated 27 years online on June 20th, and Daphne shared her thoughts in an article. Mateo did an Olympic reflection, a history lesson for Olympic Day. Daphne has a new team series with Sylvia Couch and Archie Schuster, and a solo Q&A with Amy Jane Cable of Great Britain. Well, over at FSO, Mara had a conversation with Mirai Nagasu and Tom Sakryachek on coaching philosophy, new rules, and the 2026 Olympics. Now, Mara is a coach with the Nashville Skating Academy, and Mirai and Tom were there for their Train with the Best camp. So that is how come they had a conversation. They actually chatted in person, and so she put it in Q&A form, and it is up at FSO. I also have photos from the 2026 Dream Team Ice Gala. That was a show that took place in Italy with members of Team Italy that won the bronze medal at the Olympics. So Giada was able to go to the show, and so she took some photos. We are still posting photos from the Olympics. It's not too late to post photos from the Olympics. Why not? I have photos from Robin's visit to the Olympic Village and the opening ceremony. Robin, George, and I got to go to the Olympic Village on the first day when there was media day. And so Robin took some photos, and I never posted them. So I'm posting them now, as well as the opening ceremony, so they will be up on the website. I have more photos of Robin's that I didn't get to post during the Olympics, so those will be coming up. It's always nice to look back on the Olympics. But it's July now, July 2nd to be exact, so we have to look ahead to the new season, and we are looking ahead to this new season, and we'll be popping back on with episodes as needed. But until then,
thanks for tuning in to another episode of This Week in Skating. Remember, you can keep up with us throughout the week by visiting our website at www.thisweekinskating.com. Connect with us on social media for additional updates. You can find us on Twitter at This Week in Skating without the E's, or Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at This Week in Skating. You got a burning question or feedback for Gina, Daphne, or Mateo? Reach out to us via social media or drop us an email at thisweekinskating@gmail.com. And if you're really enjoying the show and want to support us further, consider joining our Patreon community at patreon.com/thisweekinskating. Until next time, have a nice week.